Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you through bringing your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. Become a supporter today for $1 and vote for the next video release with more benefits coming soon. You guys are awesome, thank you. It's also dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. As long as there's one of you that is enjoying my content, I'm gonna keep doing it, so thank you. Today we're bringing in the fierce Earth Realm hero, Nightwolf. Nightwolf is a stoic hero and shaman who has stood with his fellow warriors since Mortal Kombat 3. Not gonna lie, this one was pretty hard. Nightwolf's story kind of sends him into multiple D&D classes, and I had to find the right fit to make this work the way it feels right. And I think I kind of got it. I'll go into more detail later. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. We're using standard point array to make things easier for you, and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on stat minimums. We'll start things off with Wisdom at 15. You are attuned to the natural world and are trained to survive in any condition. Dex will be 14. You need to be fast and agile to fight against a teleporting undead warrior and a giant man with 4 arms. Anyone else realize that this is a pretty weird game? Con will be 13. To save the world, you need focus and the ability to take a hit and keep going. Intelligence is going to be in at 12. You're actually one of the smartest characters of the series. Strength will be low with 10, but we don't need it too high, and we're gonna have to dump charisma. Neither of these stats are important for this build. Nightwolf is a human who has been blessed by the great spirits of the world. Variant Human grants a free feat and skill with stat adjustments. Place +1 to Con and Wisdom. Magic Initiate grants you 2 cantrips and a first level spell from a class spell list of your choice. With this feat, you can cast the spell without a spell slot once per long rest. Once you choose what spell list it's from, you must use that list's spellcasting modifier, meaning if you take cantrips and spells from the Warlock list, you have to use Charisma modifier. We're going to be taking spells from the Cleric spell list. Sacred Flame throws a Radiant Tomahawk at one creature within 60 feet of you, forcing a dex save and causing 1d8 radiant damage on a failure. Spare the Dying allows you to stabilize one creature that has dropped to 0 HP. For your first level spell, Guiding Bolt fires an arrow at a creature within 120 feet and dealing 4d6 radiant damage, and the creature now begins to glow. The next attack roll against the target is at advantage until the end of your next turn. For your free skill, take Perception. For your background, grab Survival and Nature. We're going to start things off with martial abilities and grab Monk. For skills, take Acrobatics and History. Level 1 monks start things off with Unarmored Defense. Your AC is now 10 plus Dex plus Wisdom, giving you an AC of 15. Martial Arts improves your unarmed strikes when not wearing armor. Your unarmed strikes can now be Dex based, deal damage equal to Martial Arts dice, and you gain a bonus action Unarmed Strike. You can also change simple melee weapons into Dex based and use Martial Arts dice for the damage. Your Martial Arts dice start off at a D4 but will upgrade over time. Time for some spiritual power. Level 1 druids are spellcasters. You can prepare a total number of spells each day equal to your druid level plus wisdom modifier. This means you have 2 cantrips and 4 spells. Jalang empowers a club and turns it into a magical weapon. The club deals 1d8 damage and can now use your wisdom modifier for attack and damage. The club stays magical for 1 minute or if you let the weapon go. Guidance lets you touch one willing creature and grant them an extra D4 on one ability check, while you maintain this spell for 1 minute. Once the D4 is used, the spell ends. Cure Wounds lets you heal 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier and damage. Animal Friendship allows you to convince a beast that you mean it no harm for 24 hours by forcing a wisdom save and charming it should the beast fail. If it has an intelligence of 4 or higher, the spell fails automatically and the spell will end if you or your companions harm the beast. Beast Bond allows you to establish a telepathic link with one beast that is friendly to you and has an intelligence of 3 or lower. While you maintain the spell for 10 minutes, you can communicate with the beast, and it has advantage on attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you. Speak with Animals allows you to verbally communicate and understand with all beasts for 10 minutes. You also learn a special language called Druidic that only druids can speak, but we don't really need to go into that one. Level 2 Druids awaken your animality with Wild Shape. You can transform into a beast of CR 1/4 or lower with your action. You have 2 uses of this feature between short or long rest. You stay in this beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your Druid level, and you assume the strength, dex, and con stats of the beast and the abilities it has. You can end this transformation early with a bonus action, or if your beast form drops to 0. Once dropped to 0, you return to your normal HP, excluding any spillover from the animal form. You can only turn into a beast without a swimming or flying speed. We're going to improve this with your subclass. Circle the Moon makes your Wild Shape more combat effective. Combat Wild Shape turns your Wild Shape into a bonus action, and in Wild Shape you can heal yourself 1d8 by burning a spell slot. Circle Forms allows you to transform into a beast of CR 1 or lower, allowing you to transform into a dire wolf. For your new spell, Longstrider adds 10 to your total speed for 1 hour. Level 3 Druids now have 2nd level spells. For your new spell, Summon Beast calls forth a spirit animal to fight alongside you. You choose the form of the spirit and the environment it draws its power from, which the form must be a part of, so no airwolves. Choosing from air, land, or water, this form decides the ability it will have. Since you mostly call on the spirits of wolves or bears, we're going with land. Land grants Pack Tactics, giving it advantage on attack rolls within 5 feet of an ally and a climbing speed of 30 feet. The spirit can attack a number of times equal to half the spell level. You must maintain this spell for 1 hour and it obeys your command. Level 4 Druids earn our first ability score improvement. Place this into Dex for better AC and attack. You can now also transform into a beast with a swimming speed with your Wild Shape. For your new spells, Moonbeam calls forth the power of the moon to strike down your enemies. Choosing a spot within 120 feet of you, you summon a beam of moonlight that is a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. On each of your turns, you can use your action to move the beam 60 feet in any direction. Any creature entering or starts its turn in the beam must make a con save or take 2d10 radiant damage. A shapeshifter makes this at disadvantage, and if it fails, it must revert back to its original form and can't assume a new form until it leaves the light. You must maintain the spell for 1 minute. You also gain a new cantrip. Grab what you want. Druid has some pretty good ones like Thorn Whip, which allows you to basically pull a scorpion. Your character level 5 now. Sacred Flame now does 2d8 radiant damage on a failed dex save. Level 2 monks receive unarmored movement. Now when not wearing armor, your total speed is increased, bringing your current speed to 40 feet, or 50 feet with Longstrider. Key grants you spiritual power to grant you increased abilities. You now have key points equal to your monk level that you can spend to perform special abilities, like Flurry of Blows, which costs 1 point and allows you to make 2 unarmed strikes with a single bonus action. Patient Defense costs 1 key point and turns Dodge into a bonus action. Step of the Wind costs 1 key point and turns Dash or Disengage into a bonus action and doubles your jump distance. Level 3 monks gain Deflect Missiles. Now when you hit with a ranged melee attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus dex plus your monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0 and you have an empty hand, you can catch the projectile and throw it back. You also gain your subclass. Kensai monks, found in Xanathar's Guide, are weapon experts. Kensai weapons are special monk weapons that you can choose that lack the heavy or special property. At this level, you gain a melee and ranged weapon. Choose a longbow and a tomahawk. Agile Parry turns your Kensai weapon into a defensive weapon. Now when holding your Kensai weapon, but instead attacking with an unarmed strike, you can add +2 to your AC. Kensai Shot lets you add more damage to your ranged Kensai attack with a bonus action, dealing an extra d4 of damage. Now this is where I was having some problems. Firstly, I really wanted Cleric, but I couldn't fit it into here. And I could not find a subclass for Monk that really fits with who Nightwolf is. I chose Kensai for better combat capabilities. You can take this in any direction you want. You can add more radiant damage blast by going Sun Soul, or maybe you're a better healer with Mercy. Choose what you want to do. Level 4 monks earn another ability score improvement. Place this into wisdom for better spell attacks, DC, and AC. Slow fall allows you to reduce damage when falling with a reaction, reducing the damage by 5 times your monk level. Quickened healing allows you to heal yourself by spending 2 key points with an action. This allows you to heal by 1 martial arts dice plus your proficiency bonus. Because we raised your wisdom, you can now have another druid spell. Beast Sense allows you to see through a willing beast's senses for up to 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Level 5 monks gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Stunning Strike lets you stun an enemy you hit by spending 1 key point, forcing a con save. Should they fail, they are stunned until the start of your next turn. Focus Aim lets you spend up to 3 key points when you miss with an attack to turn it into a hit. When you do this, you add +2 to the roll for each key point spent. Your martial arts dice are now a d6. Level 6 monks receive key empowered strikes and magical Kensai weapons. Now your unarmed strikes and Kensai weapons damage is magical. Death Strike lets you spend 1 key point when you hit with a Kensai weapon, dealing extra damage with a martial arts dice once per turn. Your total movement is now 45 feet. Finally, you gain another Kensai weapon. Go with what you feel. Like I said, I did not really want to do Kensai Monk, but none of the other monks felt Nightwolf, so we went with this instead. Level 5 druids now have 3rd level spells. For your spell, Call Lightning summons Nature's Wrath to your aid. A storm cloud appears within 120 feet of you to a point that you can see. That is shaped in a 10-foot tall, 60-foot radius cylinder. When the cloud is summoned, choose a spot underneath the cloud to cause a lightning strike. Every creature within 5 feet of the strike must make a dex save or take 3d10 lightning damage. On each of your turns, you can use your action to call on another lightning strike while you maintain the spell for up to 10 minutes. If you are outside and there is already a storm happening, the lightning damage is increased by a d10. Your character level 11 now. Sacred Flame now deals 3d8 radiant damage on a failed dex save. Level 6 Moon Druids gain Primal Strike. Now, attacks made in your wild shape are magical. You can also now transform into a bigger beast that has a CR that is equal to your druid level divided by 3. Sorry, but you're already better than every other druid. For your new spell, grab what you want. Level 7 druids now have 4th level spells. Once more, take whatever spell you want. We're completely good on spells. Level 8 druids earn another ability score improvement. Cap off wisdom for a better AC, spell DC, and spell attack. This also means you have 2 more spells, and this is our final druid level, so have fun picking your last 2. Finally, your wild shape can now have a flying speed, but wolf and bear are your spirit animals, so who cares? Level 7 monks gain evasion. Now when you succeed on a dex save, you take no damage and half on a failure. Stillness of Mind allows you to end one effect on yourself that is making you charmed or frightened. Level 8 monks earn another ability score improvement. Place this into dex for better attack and AC. Level 9 monks have their unarmored movement upgraded. You can now run up vertical surfaces and across liquids. This one I really didn't want for you because it doesn't work for the character, but who cares, it's a pretty cool feature. Your character level 17, Sacred Flame now deals 4d8 radiant damage on a failure. Level 10 monks receive Purity of Body. You are now immune to all diseases and poison. Your unarmored movement is now 50 feet. Level 11 Kensai monks gain Sharpen the Blade. Now as a bonus action, you can spend up to 3 key points to add to attack and damage to 1 Kensai weapon for 1 minute. This feature cannot work on a magical weapon that already has a bonus. You also gain a new Kensai weapon. Choose what you want. Your martial arts dice are now upgraded to a D8. Our final level is level 12 monks, and you earn our final ability score improvement. Let's cap off dex for a great AC. Now that we've reached level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 14, Intelligence 12, Wisdom 20, Charisma 8. Your total levels are Monk 12, Druid 8. Let's dive in. First and foremost, your attack capabilities are great. Regardless of the level and style, you can always deal magical damage. At character level 1, you have magic damage spells. At character level 2, you have a cantrip that turns a club into a 1d8 magical weapon, and you can use your wisdom or dex to attack. By character level 6, all unarmed strikes and weapon attacks are magical. By character level 12, your beast form has magical attacks. By the end of this build, you can make 4 melee attacks, dealing 1d8 plus 5 damage per hit. Your bow is magical, and you have spells dealing damage out to 120 feet. Using Step of the Wind and Longstrider, you have a total movement of up to 120 feet, and if you feel like it, kind of messing with the character a little bit, you can fly. You can also summon an animal spirit to aid you and can call on nature itself to attack your enemies. You can also communicate with animals and heal yourself. To round it all out, you have an AC of 20 and an HP of 143, taking the average. Downside, not much here. You have a lot of concentration spells, but not all of them are combat spells, but you do have a bad charisma, which is not going to be used that much. That's it. Monk offers a lot of chances to improve character abilities pretty well. You are a vicious and brutal attacker. Stand with your allies and destroy those who threaten your world. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure to check out my Mortal Kombat playlist for more characters from a game I may spend too much time on. I'm sorry, I really like Mortal Kombat, and this channel has given me reasons to play the game more. I release a new video every week on YouTube and Spotify, and requests are always open. Make sure to check out my Patreon, where every week you can help decide new character releases. Who will it be? Snake Plissken, John Wick, Detective Frank Drebin, or Son Goku?